Alright, y'all, I am back for the second part, and it's been a little while. I tried to film it on my daughter's phone, but I just went ahead and waited until this part uploaded. Now I'm gonna do the second part and upload it. Had a little break, had a little time to cool down. The Jehovah's Witness lady came and talked to me, so maybe I'll be a little bit more, even-tempered, maybe. So, anyways, so we were talking about the lady, ain't no lady, I'm already getting mad, the person that got into a fist fight in the parking lot and dropped her newborn baby. I don't know if I said this already, but priorities, people. My number one priority, if I had a newborn baby and somebody wanted to fight me, my number one priority would have been to get the F out of there with my baby and avoid a fight, because I have my newborn baby with me. You know what I mean? Like, avoid it at all costs because I have my newborn baby. Or if you had to fight the person, if you just had to do it, tell them, be like, I'll meet you so-and-so place, let me drop off my baby, and then we're gonna fucking fight, you know? Let me take the baby to grandma's house, or my sister's house, or whoever's house, and then we'll fight. Come to my house, and I'll put the baby in the house with my boyfriend, and then we'll fight. Like, whatever, as long as the baby was not involved, you know what I mean? Like, and there was other adults there in the parking lot. Like, apparently there was like a family friend or a cousin or something like that, and nobody interjected and said, let me have the baby. Nobody interjected and said, fights off, the baby fell and got hurt, we need to go to the hospital now. Nobody interjected and said in the first place, you girls, you things don't need to be fighting because you have a baby. Maybe this isn't the time and the place right now. Just maybe. I mean, nobody said that. Nobody thought that. Nobody had the not common decency, but the common sense that maybe it's not a good idea to fight when there is a newborn baby involved in the situation. Maybe. And to the woman that I don't know who started the fight, okay? But either way, to the other person that wasn't holding the baby, oh my God, like, how does that person feel now? Because that baby is dead. And whether it was her fault that the baby got knocked on the ground, the mother's fault, it doesn't really matter whose fault it was. They were both in the situation. It takes two to tango. It was both their fault, no matter what. Because even if the mother started to fight, she should have been like, yo, back up, you got a kid, I'm not fucking fighting you with a kid. But she did. So, she's not, even if it was the mother's fault, she's not free of guilt. Alright, go, girls. No, go. Patience, why did you tell her to come in here? I heard you.
I followed her.
Go play. That's rude. I heard you whispering to her. Go play, please. For 5 minutes, and I'll be done. That's why I can never get nothing done. Because they're nosy. But I close the door, because they really don't need to be hearing about this kind of stuff, because I get mad. And they just don't need to hear me cussing and ranting and raving in here. Because that's what a parent's supposed to do. They're not supposed to be vile in front of their kids. I'm not even going to go and cuss and be verbally vile in front of my kids. I'll go and hide and do it, you know? I don't think I'm being vile, but I'm saying things that I wouldn't want to say in front of my kids. So yeah, like, that woman is just vile. The woman that got in the fight with her is vile. Whoever was standing around watching is vile. Luckily, there was a tape of it. Luckily, you dumb bitches, parking lots usually have surveillance cameras. And if you would have taken the baby to the hospital right when it happened, you probably wouldn't be getting charged with murder right now. I think they're both getting charged with something. I don't know if the mother's getting charged with murder, but I know she's getting charged, and it's a heavy charge, which is fucking good. It's good. Good for her. Because that baby, she carried that baby in her belly for 9 months, right? She has this baby, pushes it out, or gets her belly cut wide open. Either way, you know, it's crazy having a baby. Unless you're one of those people that just pops them out and it ain't nothing. And then you get pregnant again, which, if you are, I don't give a shit. But to me, you know, having a baby is something. Like, that's a lot of work. To go through all that, and then to just let the baby die. If they would have taken the baby right then and there, she probably, like I said, she probably wouldn't be being charged, because she could have said, well, it was an accident, you know, whatever. But because she waited until the next day, she probably waited because she knew that she fucked up and that she shouldn't have been doing what she was doing. But they probably wouldn't have questioned her if she would have taken him in that day and just been like, you know, I accidentally dropped my baby in the parking lot. They probably wouldn't have been like, well, what were you doing? But because she waited that long, of course they're going to question her. And they're going to, I'm sure she tried to lie. I'm sure she did. But they're going to find out. You know, things only stay secret for so long. It doesn't pay to lie, because then once somebody finds out the lie, you're in even more trouble. So, yeah, that woman, death, electric chair. I couldn't think of what it said. Seriously though, like, disgusting. And then bad parenting brings me to my last thing I want to talk about. I don't know if anybody else watches Troyce TV, Troyce TV, but he did a video the other night, and it was about, his video said something about black parents, but I don't think that this is a race thing, honestly. There are horrible people of all race. There are nasty people of all races. There are devils of people. And I'm agnostic, so, you know, if I say somebody's the devil, that just means that they're fucking, you know, or Satan. There are terrible, predatory people of every race. So I don't think it's a race thing. So if you do go watch his video, I'm not saying his title is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about anybody who does this. I don't care what color you are. If you do this to your kid, you're a shit motherfucker. I know tons of hillbilly ass, redneck ass parents out there that I'm like, oh my god, like, say things to their kids that I would never say, or do things to their kids that I would never do. And, you know, obviously, they're white. So it's not really a race thing. But with his video, he was talking about this new trend of parents punishing their children, but not punishing their children like a normal parent, but doing it on Facebook Live, or a YouTube video, or Twitter, or Instagram, or whatever, punishing them in front of the whole world, degrading them in front of the whole world, shaming them in front of the whole world, beating them in front of the whole world. The biggest one that I saw was this boy skipped school. Okay, you tell me how this equates. How, you know, skipping school is equivalent to what happened to him. So he skipped school. So his dad gets on the camera and he's like, oh yeah, I found out my son skipped school. Wait till he gets home and we're going to see what happens when you skip school and you want to not go to school. So he cuts off the camera comes back on, and he's talking shit, straight talking shit. Oh, he thinks he's bad, wonder if he's bad now. You gonna listen now? You gonna do whatever you want now? And he walks into the kitchen and turns the camera to his son, and his son, just blood all over his face, down his neck. His whole shirt is red. He had a white shirt on it. I mean, it's just covered in blood. He broke that kid's nose. There's no way he didn't break his nose. I broke my nose 3 times, and every time there was not that much blood that kid had on him. So I know his nose was broken. That is not punishment. That is child abuse. That is abuse. That's not even questionable parenting. That is straight up abuse. And it doesn't matter that he was like a 15 or 16-year-old kid. It's still fucking abuse. He is not a grown man, and you shouldn't be manhandling him like he is a grown man. The father was this built, buff dude, and his son was this little skinny kid that, you know, he might be a little scrappy, but I doubt it, because he was just very thin and lanky looking. And his dad was clearly, you know, and he was proud of it. He wasn't like, I'm sorry that I made you bleed, or I'm sorry I didn't mean to hit you that hard. No, he fucking meant to. He was bragging about that shit. That's what he wanted, was to hurt him. I mean, that's scary. What if he would have taken it a little bit too far and broke his fucking neck? It only takes one mistake. It only takes one little accident for somebody to be dead. I heard a story where this little boy when he was a little kid, he got a rock. And he really liked the rock, and his mom was like, well, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese, and he wanted to keep the rock. So they had one of those big 15-seater vans. And so he put the rock up on the shelf in the van. Hold on, baby. Go play for a minute. Go play with Sissy. It's up on the couch, baby. So, hold on, y'all. Alright, y'all. I am back. She always does that crap. So yeah, what I was saying is, like, that is not questionable. That is, anybody can see that that's straight up child abuse. And, I'm sure that the proper authorities were, called. Somebody, I'm sure, you know, did the research, did the little sleuth, and, found out, you know, what they needed to find out to, I hope, because that's abuse. That's not on the line. That's horrible. So, and then there's these parents that, okay, I'm going to tell a little story. I never really want to talk about this, but, I'm going to, for the sake of why I feel the way I do. Patience's grandma got her a new phone, for up there, and she had went with her sister for 2 weeks. Well, while she was up there, apparently she wasn't getting enough attention. So she went and she started talking to this boy. And he said that he was 16 years old. Which, first off, even if he really was, not okay. She's 11. Okay? And he knew it. She told him, and he was still talking to her, so that's a problem with me. And I guarantee you he wasn't 16. Luckily, she's not at the age yet where she's sending pictures or anything like that, or she didn't tell him where she lived or nothing like that, because we looked at everything. We weren't happy, but it could have been much, much worse. And I watched these other videos of mothers seeing their daughters talking to boys and stuff like that, and I heard whore, slut, skank, thought, bitch, skank, I think I already said that, but just any degrading word that you can think of, they were calling their daughters. One mother showed the daughter's bathroom, showed in the bathtub, showed in the toilet that it was dirty, and they're skanky and dirty, so anybody that's touching them, you're gonna be dirty, and you need to take a shower, you're gonna stink if you touch them, and, like, just really nasty things. Like, I would never talk to my daughters like that. So that brings me back to, like, you know, our situation. my husband and I sat down and talked with her and asked her why she felt the need. Because when she got back, she went to her grandma's house and she was freaking out because she didn't have internet. So we knew something was up. And we asked her. And she told us the truth. Do you know why? Because she knows that she can talk with us. We didn't have to go through her phone and find out she was lying. She told us the truth. Because we knew she was acting funny. We knew there was a reason she wanted so badly to be on the internet. Obviously, she was talking to somebody. So she told us the truth. And we sat down and we talked with her about it. And we told her how dangerous it is and why it's so dangerous and what can happen to little girls when they want to act like adults. And what can happen when you put yourself in a bad situation or get yourself into a situation that you can't quite get out of once you're in it. Or you tell somebody where you live and they show up at your house, fucking drag you out of your house, cut your head off and throw you in a ditch. I told her about what happened to me. Because I was left in a situation and there wasn't a guardian there to protect us. Me, specifically. And when there's parents that don't give a shit, those are the types of things that happen. And we explained to her that we are not those type of parents. That we will be involved with her in whatever she is doing. And we will be the type of parents to go through her phone. And when we say, let me see your phone, you're going to give it to us. Whenever we ask. You're not going to touch another button. Because if you're doing something on there, we're going to find it. That you shouldn't be. Of course, she doesn't have her phone. Still, to this day. We'll give it back when we think that, that, it's time. But, like I said, we just explained to her what the consequences of doing those kinds of things can be. Like I said, I explained to her what happened to me at 12 years old, a year older than her. And had we not been parents that are very involved in her life and know how she acts and know who she is and pay attention to how she's acting, that could have got right by us. And she could have, sent pictures or because people are very manipulative. It's called grooming. You know what I mean? And had we not paid attention, it's hard to tell how much further somebody could have gotten her, sending them pictures or something like that, and then that could have been put all over you know what I mean? Like, y'all know what I mean. So I'm glad that, it was only, talking like normal people until we found out, because it could have been much worse. The person obviously, it doesn't matter. The point is that the word whore, the word slut, the word thought, the word hoe, the word bitch, none of that came out of my husband or my mouth. Neither of us would ever call our children names like that. And then, not only do these people go call their kids names like that, but they go online and do it for thousands of people to watch and laugh at their kid and ridicule their child. I saw a woman get on live the other day and talk about how ugly her baby is. Now her baby is so ugly, and how the fuck did I end up with a baby that looks like this, and just dogging her child. Her name's Chrissy something, the lady that uploaded the video. You can probably just type in mom calls baby ugly, and you can find it. Like, and it's a newborn baby. This baby is like maybe 2 months old, and she's talking about how ugly it is. I'm like, are you joking me right now? Like, what is wrong with these parents today? What is going on that you think that this shit's okay to treat your children like they're animals? Inhumane is what it is. You treat them like worse than animals. You probably treat your dogs better than you treat your damn kids. You want to embarrass them to try to teach them a lesson. that's gonna do is teach them that they can't fucking trust you. And that if they fuck up, they're not gonna tell you about it. They're gonna try to hide it at all costs. Because they know what you're gonna do to them if you find out. Do you want to be that kind of parent? I want to be the kind of parent that if my kid fucks up, they come and tell me. My daughter just came and told me something the other day that she said she's been afraid to tell me for years. I mean, it wasn't even anything that bad, but she felt, she felt guilty about it. And she thought she was going to get in trouble for it. And she told me, and I'm like, well, I'm glad you told me, but, you're a kid, and kids do dumb shit, It doesn't give you a pass to go and do stupid shit again, but I'm not going to scream and holler and yell at you for coming and telling me something on your own that I didn't know even happened. I had no idea. So what do? Embarrass her for it? I mean, should I get on Facebook Live and tell everybody this thing that she's been afraid to tell me? I mean, or do I sit down and talk with her and be like, okay, well, you can't do that kind of stuff. You never do it again. Why were you doing this at that time? Like, I would rather understand my child and my child feel like they can talk to me than feel like they need to run from me when they do something wrong. And so far, thank God, my daughter does come to me. Obviously it's a little easier for her to come to me than her dad because that's just the way it is. Moms and daughters are easier. They feel more comfortable telling the mom something because they're softer and kinder, and dads are like, you did what? But anyways, it really bothered me, the way I heard these parents ridiculing their kids, just being completely nasty towards their own children, people that they created. Oh, and one last thing, I found out more about that, Jessica Yaniv, whatever, and I just get more and more disgusted by the minute. If you're interested in hearing the full story, Rose of Dawn, just Rose of Dawn, that's her name. She did a very good investigational video a while ago before I heard anybody else talk about it, but I didn't know it was the same person because JY, A Pillar of the Community, is what the video is called. And at that time, she had to call her JY because Jessica Yaniv had sued somebody for calling her a he, even though at that time she switched out her names. I think it was Jonathan, her dead name, but she still goes by it sometimes, depending on which account of her she's on. So people, of course, are gonna get confused if they're not sure, what to call you. So apparently she tried to sue a theater production company because they burnt sage on the stage, and she said that it caused her to not be able to breathe. Apparently she was not a manager for this girl band. What was it called? Something Sully, Minnesuli or something like that. It's in that video. The whole thing, he was like harassing 12-year-old girls, sending death threats and everything else. Like just some really weird stuff that if you're interested in this story, you're going to want to watch both her videos. There's one from like April, and like I said, it's called JY, A Pillar of the Community. Watch that, and you will just be jaw-dropped at this person and how this person has gotten away with so much frivolous lawsuits constantly, but yet behind, everything, they're really the predator and the one that people should be worried about, not the one that people should be protecting, because they're using they're transgendered. They're using that as a way to get around, and a lot of deflection, and you just have to go and watch the story if you're interested. I can't believe how much crap I've really found out. I'm like, oh my god, this person, how are they not in prison by now? Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I just had to talk about some of that stuff because it's like so crazy to me. How people treat their kids, man. That's why I haven't been on as much, because after seeing all this stuff about how people treat their kids like animals and this and that, like, just makes me want to love my kids a little bit more. Hold them a little bit longer. Squeeze them a little bit tighter. And if I were you, I'd do the same today. Just give your baby a little extra hug or a little extra kiss. Or if your kids are grown, give them a call and remind them how much you love them. I love you guys very much. Y'all mean the world to me. I appreciate all your comments and all your support and all that. And I will be back tomorrow with a personal video. Just a little update video. I haven't really told you guys anything going on with me recently because I've been making videos with points, which is crazy because usually I just ramble on, which, I mean, I'm still rambling, but at least it has a point in it. I have a reason that I'm rambling on. So, anyways, I'll be back with an update video tomorrow. I love y'all. I hope that you are spending the day with somebody that you love and having the best day you can. Live your life.